Hi. So this whole blogging thing not working out too well. I don't really want to type everything up and it's just not working. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to catch everyone up by talking. Everyone knows I'm really good at talking, so I'll try and keep it quick. So after we got back to the hostel, we relaxed, had some fun. Everything was golden. Next morning, Marlon went off to go scuba diving again. I had a flight to catch from Eilat to Tel Aviv. Something really funny happened. Again, I was stopped and questioned. What they did this time is they looked through all my stuff, made sure I didn't have any explosives or drugs, and did the whole swipey thingy. But what was really nice is they then escorted me through security. So rather than having to wait in lines, I just flew right through. I wish they did that more often. Really good. Other than that, went on the plane from Eilat to Tel Aviv. Everything was golden. Got to Tel Aviv. Didn't have a place to stay yet. Wasn't a huge problem. I was talking to one of my buddies from Taglit, and we decided to stay in the same hostel. So, booked a hostel. I headed off on the shuttle to Tel Aviv. Took a bus. Got there, no problem. That night, we went out for his birthday. I went home after one beer. I wasn't feeling it. Just wanted some sleep. I think that night I finished my book. The next morning, I visited my friend in Gedera, which is about 30 minutes south of Tel Aviv. And we hung out. We walked around. I had some really good hummus there. She took me to a hummus place. It was awesome. The afternoon, she did some homework. I did my laundry. Wonderful. Should have brought more clothes. Definitely should have brought more clothes. Then went to a bar with one of her friends. The pub we were going to go to was having a show, so we didn't go there. Then we drove to another place, and it was gay night, and they didn't want to go. So we ended up at this place called the Meat Bar, and had some drinks, and it was fun. Next, on Thursday, I went back into Tel Aviv, and had a really good time. I went to some of the markets. I went to the Carmel market, and I went to the Levinsky market. And the Levinsky market was cooler because it had a lot more spices and dried fruits. Spices means better pictures, which was really fun. And the Carmel market was inundated with Taglit birthright people. No good, even though I just did it. So that was fun. And then I went back to the pub. Or not back to the pub, back to the hostel. I stayed at the same hostel I stayed at on Tuesday night. And every Thursday and Saturday night they have pub crawls. So I decided that I would join in on the pub crawl. I met two really nice people, Aaron and his sister, whose name I'm forgetting right now. Oops. And they were from North Carolina, and we went out on the pub crawl. It was like 80 shekels. You went to 4 different bars. It's a really good time. That night, nothing happened. We went out, had a good time, as I mentioned earlier. And then I got home, went to sleep. Next morning, I took a bus from Tel Aviv, which is in the middle of Israel, so like right here, and went all the way up to the north, right here. And right here is Syria. So I was about mile and a half from Syria. Could hear some bombs. It was cool. None were hitting us, thankfully. And so, hung out with my friend Tair up by her kibbutz, and we picked up her brother from a hockey match. That night, I met a bunch of her friends, and we went out to the kibbutz's pub, or bar. It was really fun. They were really nice and really welcoming. Not many of them could speak English, and I was just surrounded by people my age, jabbering away in Hebrew. While they were jabbering away in Hebrew, I had no idea what was going on. So what I resorted to doing was I would listen for like 1 or 2 words that I understood and try and make a stupid comment about it. My goal was if I got it 1 out of 4 times, I'd be doing okay. So some of them actually thought I was funny. It was really awesome. After the pub that night, we went back to Tair's house, and I read a little bit on the bus ride up to the Golan Heights, which was about 3 hours. I decided to start my new book, or start one of the 2 books Mom gave me. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It got me to start reading again, which is awesome because you can do that anywhere. So the next morning, Saturday, we slept in, we hung out with her friends some more, and we really just had a chill day, meeting some more of her friends who hadn't been there the night before, and really just like figuring out where things were on the kibbutz, because it's not that complicated, but it just takes a few days to get to know. That night, when Tyre went to bed because she had work the next morning, I stayed up and watched the football game. Wasn't a very good football game, so probably should have gotten some sleep. But I had slept all day on the bus, so it wasn't that big of a deal. The next day, Tyre went off to work before I even woke up, and I really just bummed around the house. It was a rest day, and those are always okay, because those just need to happen from time to time. And when you're traveling, you don't get those very often, so you got to take advantage of them when you can. So nothing too notable happened. I finally finished up my Camp Tawonga app, and I applied. And what was really cool is the next day I went into Kiryat Shmona. I went into the town that's by her kibbutz. It's about an hour bus ride away. And Tyre told me there's not much to do, and I should have believed her. I got there, and within about 20 to 30 minutes, I had seen almost everything that was in the town. What they call a city here is very different than what we call a city. It's interesting. I mean, when it's a country of 8 million, and you have 4 million around two cities, Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, it doesn't leave much room for other places. So I went around Kiryat Shmona, didn't see too much, but I went to the marketplace and got some apples, some oranges, and a pomelo, which are delicious. And then I did one of my favorite activities when abroad, is I found the local Mexican restaurant and ordered a tortilla. It was just kind of dolled up shawarma made to look like a burrito, wrapped the same way they wrap shawarma, which is the meat on a stick. And it wasn't too great, but that is now 2 countries that I've been to that have done it, that have done Mexican food, and it's fun for me to try it out. All right, so I went back to the kibbutz El Rom, after that, and hung out with Tyre after she was done with work. Went over to her parents' house for dinner and had shakshuka, which is Israeli. There's tomatoes on the bottom and you fry eggs over it. It's really good. I've had it a couple times that now homemade. It's phenomenal. After that, the next day, Tyre took the day off. She was really nice. And we slept in a little bit because she needed it real bad. And then we went hiking up this little mountain called Mount Ben Tali. And it's really cool because at the top of the mountain, there's an old Israeli lookout. So inside the lookout, there's nothing too exciting inside of it. It just looks really cool. But there's like a series of tunnels and like 5 or 6 gun outposts where they had like a very small window to shoot through. And when we got to the top of it, it was really windy, but you could also see Syria. When I was on Birthright, we went to the top of Mount Ben Tal, which is a mountain that was actually, we could see from the top of Mount Ben Tali, and it's where there was an old bunker. And so from there we saw Syria, and Tyre gave me a little history because she knows a lot about that stuff from her year of service that she did before the army. After that, we went back to her parents' house and mooched some more food. That was a consistent theme when I was with her, is that even though she lives in her own apartment in the kibbutz, she goes back to her parents' house all the time just to steal food. It was delicious and amazing. I had so much pita. I'm having so much pita, so much falafel, so much shawarma. So much good food. Not getting tired of fried food either. So after lunch, her and one of her friends, we went to a place called the Valley of Tears, which is another place that, another war spot that she knew a lot about because that was her bedtime story growing up. It's this really cool thing where they have a bunch of like old tanks and old mortar shells just sitting out, and there's like a little like some names of the people that have died. But it was a really cool memorial. Yeah. And then we hung out last night. What did we do last night? It's not like that kind of night. I just can't remember off the top of my head. Oh yeah, we just hung out at her parents' house, had some dinner, and then we went to. Oh, she went over to go clean, what she does every night, and then we said our goodbyes, and I left this morning, and I made it to Haifa, which is where I am now, which is a city in the north, right on the water. So it's on the Mediterranean Sea. It's a beautiful spot, and tomorrow I think I'm going to go to the Baha'i Gardens. I'm going to go just kind of check it out. I'm staying with a person that I found on Airbnb, so he should let me know what to do, and I look forward to telling you more about it. Bye.